Hello, this is Krill here again, playing turn 81 of PB15. Um, I might not be able to play all of the turn in this one setting, unfortunately, as I have to leave to go to work shortly. Because of that, yeah, at first I'm just gonna look around and then see what stuff's like, see if there's anything new. Only novice has played this turn though, so it's not likely that much has happened. Spears moved about. That's nothing special. Scooter's accepted my map trade. That's like absolutely awesome because now it just doesn't matter. Now I've got almost perfect vision on the map. There's a bit around here that I can scout out easily with a chariot when I get this City 8 down. Got all of this. That's some nice land. Why is... Oh, that corn is improved. That corn is improved. That one's not. But I can't see the borders, so... I think there's a city on that Plains Hill. Because or on this grass hill here. Potentially, if it's on that grass hill, that'd actually be the best way, because it's got the immediate food resource, and claims this one down here. When the borders expand, and it makes it difficult for Pindicator to claim it as well. Pindicator would have to settle a city here to really make sure he gets it. It's not too easy. Novice has got some nice land. Gold, silver. Potentially claiming some. Oh, so here we got the world. Ooh. Oh, okay. So that's a nice little 4-food city. He settled there. If he split. Okay. Not too much. And then the Scooter's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Furs, yeah, that I already knew was there. There's okay, so there's a lot of new map information around. Yeah, there's a lot of new map information around, but no one's really moved. I mean, Vindicator's, yeah, obviously he's not played since I last played the turn. I'm effectively again double moving him, but nothing's like to be concerned about. Yeah, Bowman. I'm always going to have a chuckle out about that Bowman just sitting there. I thought... Oh, Scooter and Novice have played. Okay, so that's not too bad. There's nothing really to stop me from just playing this turn straight up, because there's nothing new. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and play it. I've got to decide also the order that I settle cities in. Because of the distance, I don't think it matters. It's more... Yeah, it's like the only reason I'm actually talking about this now is that later on in the game, when I'm working out micromanagement between City 7 and 8, I actually want to just be able to swap straight between these two. So I actually want to settle City 7... City 7 on the City 7 site, and then City 6 will be here, so I'll just get rid of these two labels now, because I don't need them, because I am about to settle those cities. And I'll see what goes. Oh shit, I actually need to get names. Damn it, why didn't I work this out in advance? I'm probably just going to put in temporary city names because I don't have the time to figure this out at the moment. But I'm planting that city. Actually, costs went up by 3, but that's not the one that mattered so much. It's actually City 8 that's really going to help. Oh, that's obnoxious. I can't do the corn this. I can't improve the corn this turn because of where the spear is. I'm not throwing stuff at it either. The axe can attack it next turn, but it does make it a bit more difficult to micro. Or does it? Or does it? Um, I can't leave the. Just to point out, by settling here, I'm actually leaving a few tiles on work, but nothing special. Um, okay, so actually, costs have gone up by 10, really, since last turn. But as stated, it's actually City 8 that's going to get a lot of the City 8 that's going to get a lot of the units back into my territory. If we go and look at F2, you see that I've gone from playing 13. I've saved 4 gold per turn just on unit cost and unit supply. When I settle City 8, that should drop down even further. So actually, have I got enough gold saved? Oh, telephone, don't you love this? Be right back. Cold callers should be shot. Um, okay, so I can research. So if I drop the slider down to 90%, which I can now do, you see that I make 64 gold per 64 beakers per turn. So I'm actually it looks like I'm just a little bit short on finishing calendar in 5 turns, but because of the rounding, it's not going to be a problem. I'm actually going to do some work, do some of the city micro now before I do any more work, just to check this out quickly. As you can see, I'm got the reset so that it grows in 1 turn. This is the turn that I slave the axeman. I actually am going to work this hill this turn, because next turn I want that hill. Next turn I move it off the pig onto that hill, and the new population point uses the lumber mill. The best way to do it, in my opinion. Yeah, as I said, I kind of screwed up the worker. The city micro here, make 1 food per turn, which just helps me, which means I only need 16 food to grow, not 17, so I can make 6 food on next 2 turns on like 82 and 83, and then 4 food on the 84, so that'll work out fairly nicely. Overflow now, 4 hammers, nothing special. Nothing special. And I can double whip the library this turn. And I'm going off 2 tiles that don't make any commerce. Making 8 food, so it goes to 22 to 30, so I'd overflow out 6 and save 12, so I'd be at 18. Yeah, Say Baron again will still grow end of turn 22, and end of turn 23 it'll grow again, so long as I work either a coastal, a lake tile, or a forest or a cottage. As long as I work a 2 food tile, that's it, it'll grow again, end of turn 83. which is when the worker will be finished here. So at that point, I actually can, if I really want to, I can swap the sheep over to ARAM collusion and work the fish, the cottage, and 2 scientists in Say Baron again, which is perfectly reasonable. What am I doing now? Anyway, that's all of the main like the micromanagement for the old cities. If I really wanted to, just to show this now, there's a monument that Thoth has built. So this is going to start pushing borders out. There's only a monument in Filbert, monument in Granary. So basically, Thoth is going to get that horse tile before I can. But if I chop out a library, I'll be able to take over the horse tile very quickly. The hardest thing I'm going to have is actually hooking up the dye tile because it's adjacent to Thoth's culture, and it's on flat land. So it's something that we've both got to be very careful about how we act when our borders are this close. I mean, obviously I could have been a bit more defensive and settled one tile closer to mine, but the dye tile is still going to be there in that position. Doesn't make much difference. So I'm just going to settle where I just chose to settle there. So move the spear into the city. So chopping those 2 forests mean that I get the I can either build a library, well, put the hammers into the library, I wouldn't finish it, or do the granary. I'm doing the granary so that I can quickly grow to size 2, and whip the barracks, or depending on how the forest chops come along, I can drop two chops into a library and then whip it. I actually, how to put this, one of the options I would have had, I've decided against, obviously. One of the options I would have had is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 270 hammers there. If I'd had marble, I would have built as I said, I could have built mausoleum and mausoleus or something, but I wonder for culture just to win, but I'm not doing that. That'd be very aggressive, and I'm not doing that. I just want that dye tile. I don't care too much about the horse. I want that dye tile, and I want to be able to just grow this city up to, like, what is it, size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about size 10ish, just to work the land tiles. It's also a launch pad for an invasion, because with that city there I can fork 2 cities. Also a fast mover stack can fork 2 cities over here. And there's always the possibility again of forking stuff over here, depending on how I could get units in. If I could hold that hill tile, I could very easily get stuff into position to fork. Or if I was really aggressive onto the floodplain, so we can go over the river, but that's a bit riskier. But that's like 40 turns down the line. Obvious choice. Or I could get the granary. Yeah, City 7, this city needs so many hammers that I've got to get the population there so that I can get some of those hammers via slavery. Popping borders, getting 10 culture doesn't matter as much. Because of the spear, I can't hook up the corn right now. I can move this chariot off the gold tile. I'll move it onto the desert. I don't need to cover this, so the chariot and worker can go back into my territory. Question is, what do I want them to do? I'm going to move the axe in. If that spear moves into my territory, it dies. If it moves onto the forest, I can cover all the units on the corn next turn with it. So I actually could have mine this tile. He roads, finishes, he moves there to mine next turn to do that, and then he goes do it. But I'm just trying to work the micromanagement to get 2 forest chopped for City 8. Let's do that. I might just burn the worker turn. I think I'm just going to burn the worker turn, and use all 3 workers to hook up that corn. I can then move or do I? Because the other option is that with the worker here, I can move him to. I can load this tile now and finish it. Worker 1 mines. Worker 4 moves onto that hit. Mines the hill this turn, and then I can move both of those workers onto separate forests next turn. But that assumes the spear doesn't move onto the forest, because I can't. I actually, if it moves onto that forest, I have to move the axe onto the corn anyway. It's just a bit that spear's just being really obnoxious. I think I'm going to go with the potential corn improvement plan, just because it's safer for City 7. I can deal with the barb that way, and I can still save a worker turn or 2. I mean, theoretically speaking, I don't even have to use the 3rd. Theoretically speaking, I actually don't need to use that the worker on that tile to help farm. I only need to use 2 of them. I can still use 2 to immediately chop rather than hook up the sheep. So I've got some options around. Finish that road. Mine for turn. Now that all this stuff's done, there's an obvious route. That's pretty much the entire turn done. Um, cancel with him. That's already cancelled. 2 forest chops are done. Granary sorted there. It's doing that. Just put down just a note so that I remember. If I rode that desert hill before I settle City 8, I get the trade route immediately rather than having to wait a turn to get it. So it's like free commerce by doing it that way. So yeah, I've got to hope the spear moves up. If the spear moves onto the corner or just directly north, I'm happy. I can kill it. 96. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are all my workers. Not as many as you think now for 8 cities. A bit below what a lot of people say you should have. GNP's dropping a little bit. Down to 3rd, people are quite close to the top. Back up on top there. Yeah, it's a simple turn. But just to think that all of the city costs now are quite high, 23. So that means that I'm probably saving about 6 gold per turn from the aggressive trait, which is not a not insignificant amount really. So it seems to be pulling its weight almost, but that's just anecdotal evidence. Anyway, that's pretty much the entire turn done, and I've got to go to work now. So have a good day, guys.